Good afternoon, first graders. My name is Firefighter Wes Lancaster, and I'm going to be bringing you at least a portion of your social studies e-learning lesson this week. This is a very new way for us to be giving these fire safety lessons. So bear with me on the technology and the electronics here. I'm going to do the best I can to teach you guys a good, fun lesson about fire safety today. A lot of you I already know and have met. If you are at Spencer, Haynes, or Nelson, I've already been inside your first grade classrooms with you and your teachers. We've gone over all different types of fire safety. We've talked about what number to dial when there's an emergency, the important information that you need to know to tell the dispatcher, what your jobs are in those emergencies, what my jobs are, different ways to get out of buildings, how many ways we should know out of buildings. We've already gone through so much. So for some of you, this was hopefully just a good review until our next lesson. For everyone else, again, I hope you guys get something out of this. And my goal here is for you guys to take whatever we talk about and learn today and discuss it with your families. Talk to your parents, anyone who lives with you, the neighbors. Talk about these things because practice makes perfect, right? So as long as we continue to practice these different fire safety techniques, that's how we're gonna get good at them and always know them. Okay, so I do have some help with me today. To start off, my daughter, she actually goes to Spencer. She's gonna be chiming in here every now and then to give me a hand with some different questions and answers and try and make this a little more interactive for you guys. So this is Autumn.
Hi.
Autumn, say hi.
Hi.
So again, Autumn's gonna help me out here. We're going to go over a few different basic fundamentals today about fire safety and emergencies, okay? So, Autumn, let me ask you, for the boys and girls at home, when there's an emergency, what number do you typically dial?
911.
911. You guys all hear that? Everyone shout that out in your kitchen right now. 911, okay? We dial 911 if there's an emergency. No matter what your emergency is, if you need firefighters, police officers, no matter what it is, we're going to call the same number all the time. Okay, so 911, we call 911. Now, after we've called 911, oh, sorry, Autumn, hang on one second, I kicked you out of the frame. So after we've called, and we're back. After we've called 911, there's some really important information that we need to be able to tell that 911 dispatcher, okay? There's four key pieces, okay? We need to know your name, your phone number, your address, and most importantly, do you know what the last one is if you called 911?
The situation you're
The
in?
situation. What's the emergency? What's wrong, okay? We need to be able to tell that dispatcher what our problem is, all right? So again, that's your name, your phone number, your address, which is very important, and what your emergency is. Okay, let's talk about your address really quick. Okay, so your address is the numbers on your house, the street name that you live on, the town that it's in, and the zip code. Okay, so there's a lot of different pieces that make your address, but it's very important that you give that 911 dispatcher all of those things. Okay, because then they're going to let the fire department know where we have to go so we can come help you as fast as we can. Okay, so remember your name, your number, your address, and what else?
Your emergency.
What's your emergency? What's wrong? Very good. So once you've told the 911 dispatcher that, they're going to call the fire department. They're going to let us know what's going on and where we need to go to get there. Okay? Depending on what your emergency is, we have all different types of emergencies. Okay, so Autumn and I are going to play a little game here, and it's going to be called Emergency or No Emergency. So I'm going to tell Autumn a certain situation, and she will tell me if she thinks that's an emergency or not an emergency. Okay, Autumn.
Yeah.
You are walking home from the school bus, and a stranger is following you to our door. You think that's an emergency?
Yes.
That is absolutely an emergency. Yes, very good. You're waiting to have dinner. You are super, super hungry, and Dad burnt the food, and now you have to wait for a pizza to get here. Is that an emergency?
No.
That is not an emergency, right? Sometimes dads are going to burn dinner, but that is not an emergency.
No.
What if in the middle of the night you hear your smoke detectors going off and there's smoke inside your house?
That's a big emergency.
That is a big emergency, right? Smoke detectors going off, beeping inside our homes, letting us know that something's wrong, right? What if you were at the playground and you came across someone who was laying on the floor and they weren't getting up? You couldn't wake them up.
That's an emergency.
That's an emergency, right? That might be a medical emergency, okay? What type of emergency happens maybe when we're in our cars out driving around? You and I may have been involved in one of these.
A car accident.
A car accident is an emergency. Very good. So we have all different types of emergency situations where we would need to dial, what's that number?
911.
911, okay? And then we're going to give that dispatcher all the information about what's going on, and they're going to decide who the right people are to respond to your emergency, okay? So the first lesson that we go through when I come teach our fire safety program is your job in a fire and my job in a fire, okay? So you guys have a very, very important job if there's smoke in your home or any type of fire inside your house. It's just as important as my job, okay? There's a phrase that I tell all my first graders they have to remember no matter what happens. That phrase is get out and stay out, right? What's that phrase, Autumn?
Get out and stay out.
Get out and stay out, okay? If there is smoke inside your home, if there's a fire, your number one responsibility is to get out of your house and stay out, okay? Now, there's some things I want you guys to talk to your families about tonight, too, as far as get out and stay out. I want everyone to have a meeting place, somewhere that they go in front of their house or at the neighbor's house, where all of you know, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, everybody knows if there's a fire in the house, we meet at the mailbox or at the basketball hoop, somewhere out in front of the house where everyone can see you and we know that everyone is accounted for, okay? So talk to your families about that tonight. But number one priority, get out and stay out. Why is that? A lot of students ask me, but Firefighter Wes, I just downloaded the new Fortnite on my PS4. I got new skins. I got to go in there and get my games. I got a new doll. I got new clothes. Right? I want to go get my stuff. All of those things we can replace, right? We can get new clothes. We can get a new PS4. We can re-download Fortnite and get a new skin, right? But we can't get a new you, right? There's only one of you. We can't replace you. I can't stop at Target and pick you up on sale. So it is so important that you are safe, right? So the number one way to stay safe, get out and stay out, okay? So talk to your families about that. Talk about that meeting place, okay? My job in a fire. Autumn, what is my job?
To make sure everything is out and to clear the fire.
I have to put the fire out, right? My number one job is to put the fire out and help anybody out who still might be inside, okay? And that's where you guys come in again. If you guys do your job and get out and stay out, you can tell me once I get there, Firefighter Wes, the fire's in the kitchen and my grandma's in the basement. She still needs help, right? So now that's more information for me so I can go in and do my job, help grandma out and get a hose in there with water and put that fire out, okay? So that's my job, is I have to go in and put the fire out. For our next lesson, I didn't have the opportunity to do it for you guys this time, but I'm gonna show everyone all the different protective gear that I have to wear so that I can do my job safely, okay? We have to wear boots, pants, coats, helmet, hoods, masks. We have to wear a special breathing tank, and I'll show you guys all that stuff for your next lesson. But know that I can't do my job in regular clothes because it's dangerous for me, and that's why it's so dangerous for you guys too if you don't get out and stay out, okay? So Autumn, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions about anything that we have gone over so far?
No, I think
Right? Mm-hmm. So what number do we call for an emergency?
911.
We call 911 for an emergency. We talked about what emergencies are,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we talked about a stranger follows us home. We find someone who's not waking up or not responsive. right? Car accidents, smoke, fire inside of our homes. Those are all emergencies, right? We're going to dial 911. Something else that I had already talked to my other classrooms about is using 911 as a joke, right? We never want to prank 911 or call and make up a fake story, right? Because if we do that, someone who really needs our help might not get us there as fast if someone else calls in and tells a fake story about something that's not going on.
Because they're
right?
going to go to the other story first.
Sure. So, does it happen sometimes when 911 gets dialed on accident?
Yes.
Sometimes we dial 911 on accident. Actually, your mom, my wife, just last week, she put her phone in the seat of the chair, and it held the button down so long that it thought there was an emergency, and it dialed 911. So just like I teach you guys, I told her, I said, stay on the phone, tell the dispatcher that you made a mistake, it was an accident, and then that way they'll know that there's no emergency. Now, what did they do? She stayed on the phone. They still sent the police officer to our house just to check and make sure that nothing was wrong, okay? No one was in trouble, no issues, so it does happen on accident, and it's important that you stay on the phone and tell the dispatcher, I'm very sorry, I dialed this number on mistake, and then give the phone to a grown-up or any other adult, right? My son actually he had a good idea. He's in the background doing some homework right now, but I did have an older coat in my garage. I can kind of show you guys the material. I don't know if you've ever been to a fire station before, right? But this is a part of the coat that I'll show you guys for our next lesson. I'll get all dressed up in it. You guys will be able to see me in all my gear. And thanks, buddy.
Welcome.
You guys will be able to see me in all the gear, and that'll be a whole nother lesson though. So for today, I think that's enough info for all you guys. I hope I didn't overwhelm you. Again, my hope with this is that you'll talk to your families, talk to your parents, anyone who lives at your house with you. Make sure you guys have a plan, okay? Have a plan of where we're gonna meet. Have a plan of how you're gonna get out of your house, okay? If there's a fire by the front door, are we gonna go out the back door, the garage door? Is there a side door, a window? Talk about all these different possibilities with your family so when the time comes, we are 100% prepared, because you have to get out and
Stay out.
Get out and stay out. I can't get a new you, right? So we got to make sure you guys are safe. Autumn, thank you very much for being my co-anchor today. Thank you guys all for listening to this. I hope you got something out of it. Enjoy this time with your families. Have some fun outside when the weather's nice, and as soon as things settle down, I can't wait to see everybody in person again. Have you guys come out to the firehouse. So have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe and take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.